that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
But on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, we see.
Then you see a pack of Hells Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars, because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined the street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back, "Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you." I said, "Well, go talk to them. Find out what they want." And they came back, they go, "They want to talk to you."
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out there.
Got put out in 2006, back in 2007, wound up going into Cannon 2011. Came out of there, I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today we're going to talk about the Hells Angels, the Mongols, and a couple other things. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mother's, brother's, sister's friend about Chatting with Stacks, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. And there's a lot more than that. So shout out to everybody that comes and watches the show. I appreciate you. We keep building and building every day. We are hitting milestones, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. Who else we got in the building? Maureen, how are you? Craig, what's good? Bella, good afternoon. Well, not morning. Good afternoon. Biker News Canada, what's going on? Shout out to Biker News Canada. Go check them out. We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on. Jeff, what's good? So, the Sons of Silence. You guys all know who the Sons of Silence are, right? They're in Colorado. They're having a get-together, and the law enforcement is concerned for the Delta. Police chief worries about the actions from other clubs. They're worried that something's going to happen when they have a get-together. And speaking of the Sons of Silence, they lost one of their brothers, sending prayers and condolences. This guy's name's Double D, and he died on the 19th. So sending prayers out to the Sons of Silence. But why does the media do that and portray all of these clubs like they're bad people? They're not bad people. They're just people that like to ride motorcycles. Maybe there's bad people in the bunch, but that's not the group as a whole. And they refer to them as gangs and all this stuff. It's just crazy. Roy, what's going on? Wydell, what's good? Thank you for joining me today. Wydell, tell everybody about Patreon. You definitely want to subscribe to Patreon. There's exclusive content over there I cannot put over here. And you will enjoy Patreon. There's a lot of graphic content over there. Some I just can't play it over here. It's too much. But today, we're going to talk briefly about the Mongols MC and the Mongolian bust. Mongolian beef bust. So all of the suspects, you remember Chitwood, the asshole Chitwood, right? All of the suspects are out on bond. All of them. Even the one that he said he was going to deport to another country and all this stuff. Chitwood is a straight asshole. And we're going to be doing a special on Chitwood. But he really has it out for the Mongols. He despises them for some reason. And I have a theory on why that is. And we're going to go over it. And I don't think Chitwood will be too happy when he sees what I'm going to be showing you guys. But who gives a shit? I don't care. You know how I do it. Oh, yeah. And Caleb Bull Harris is a fraud. He is absolutely not a pagan MC member. He was at one point years ago, but he was booted out of the club, and now he rolls around with these fake patches, sewing on patches, and claiming he's Lou Dobkin's grandson, which is totally not the case. He is not related in any way, shape, or form to Lou Dobkins. He singled out the old lady, Lou Dobkins' widow, and he got pictures from her. Well, he stole pictures from her storage unit. I got the whole rundown on what happened. And people might not be aware of, but old Caleb here used to be a part of a support club for the Hells Angels, believe it or not. But I think people see right through his bullshit, and he's getting exposed now. So don't worry, there's a lot more exposing to do. I have something dropping on Wednesday where we talk to a former pagan about Bull Harris. And I will never stop exposing this guy because he's a complete fraud. Now he's going around telling people, I'm just mad because he won't do a follow-up interview with me. I could care less. If you ever come on the screen, I wanted to see how stupid you would be to come up here and try to lie your way out of this shit. Because there is absolutely no lying. You can't do it because the copyright is right here. Spirit of a 1%er, 2022, and you plagiarized Miklo's book 100%. There is no denying that. You are a fraud. You're not in the club. You claim to be Lou Dobkin's grandson, which is insane. Like, why someone would do that is just crazy. It's really crazy. You got mental health issues. You must really have mental problems to be trying to claim that you're related to the founder of the pagans. When it's not true, you're not. You're not related to them. So, and I have proof of it. I got his whole family history. And guess what? His name's nowhere near it. And he's not really, his grandmother didn't date Lou or anything like that. He just makes up all these stories. He tells people different shit because he can't keep his lies together. But he's exposed now. Like, the bottom line is he's caught. And I will never stop exposing him. Maybe I'll do this like once a month, just to keep reminding people on who this guy is, because he goes where people aren't aware of what's going on, and he tries to fake to people, but we can't let that happen. So we're just going to keep it going. So let's take a look at some of this fakery.
It's a few feet away from me, and my brother is cooking.
Can you guys hear this?
Up his famous campfire biscuits and gravy. The smell of hot coffee and food has awoken the rest of the brothers and their old ladies. Smiles on their faces. They stretch and rub the sleep leading up today for this band of 1%ers.
Crazy.
As I laid under the stars last night next to my bike and my amazing old lady, I began to think about how lucky we are, and I asked myself, how long can this last? How long can this club stay pure?
As I laid under the stars last night, and I asked myself, how long can this last? How long can this club stay pure?
What happens when we're not around to protect our beloved freedom and brotherhood?
What happens when we're not around to protect our beloved freedom and brotherhood?
We are the founding generation of our club.
We are the founding generation of our club.
The trust between us is second to none. We have fought hard for the freedom and brotherhood we enjoy today.
The trust between us is second to none. We have fought hard for the freedom and brotherhood we enjoy today.
Our dedication to each other and to this club is what defines us.
Our dedication to each other and to this club is what defines us.
I mean, come on, you could tell that's AI, right? It's pretty easy to tell that that's AI. Well, I just proved that he plagiarized a copywritten book and tried to pass it off as Lou Dobkin's voice. It's not his voice. There was no pagan tapes. It never happened. So anyone that believes that, it's straight bullshit. Jack, stupid autocorrect. Yeah, right? Some Sons of Anarchy story. I will never stop exposing this guy. Yeah, right? I'm an old school, and I know are something people now get away with. It blows my mind. It really is. It's insane. Miklo should slam a lawsuit on Harris. That will at least bring him out in public. 100%. Don't worry. We're going to be talking to Miklo about all of this stuff. Starting to get stuff onto podcasts. Starting to get my stuff onto podcasts. Who's this guy you are beefing with on? I don't know who that you're talking about. I don't know who that is. I ain't beefing with no one, Biker News Canada. I don't know who that is, nor do I care, tell you the truth. So, I don't know who it is, and I don't give a shit, you know? I don't beef with no one. They're just all dick riders, you know? I got no beef with nobody. People are weirdos. Like this guy. This guy's a straight up weirdo. Like, to do this, look, he's creating his own patches. You can see the cutout right there, sewing them on his little vest. He's not a member of the Pagans, nor is he authorized to do anything on behalf of the club. He had a couple of out bad people that were following him around, but now he's exposed, and he's running around saying that he oh, you're talking to Chris, not you, bro. How's Nancy? Nancy's got one foot out the door, to tell you the truth. I can't put up with her shit no more. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But we're going to take a look at this first case right here. This is a wild one. This is coming out of Connecticut. This dirty stripper chick. She orchestrated a home invasion, and they're all going to trial right now. It says trial resumes in the Farmington home invasion that police say was set up by a dirty exotic dancer. So from left to right, that's Brandon Holloway on the left, Joshua Jenkins in the middle, and Mary Brantford on the right, accused of pulling off a home invasion of two men as they sat in a hot tub in Farmington with Brantford, the dirty stripper on the right, in 2022. Brantford is scheduled to testify against Holloway and Jenkins, so she's a rat too. She's a dirty stripper rat. So this is the 6th day of testimony in a trial of the pair accused of working with the exotic dancer. Wait, so she set this all up, right? So how is she testifying against them? And she's going to get off on this shit? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. So it says this is the 6th day of testimony at the trial of the pair accused of working with a dirty exotic dancer to rob 2 men as she hung out with them in Farmington hot tub. Is scheduled for Monday. Both victims are scheduled to testify in state superior court in Hartford as the dancer Mary Branford. One victim, identified only as CE, testified last week that the woman was supposed to bring a friend that night. Looks like she brought 2 friends on September 12, 2022, but said the other woman couldn't make it. She followed him and his friend from a meeting place in Hartford to EC's house in Farmington. And when they arrived, spent a long time in the bathroom getting into her bathing suit, he said. When she left the bathroom, she seemed to be in a rush to get to the hot tub, he testified. And shortly after they got in, 2 masked men approached with guns. They pulled the friends out of the hot tub and dragged them through the sliding glass door, throwing them into the floor of CE's basement, he said. Police identified the suspects as Joshua Jenkins and Brandon Holloway, both of Hartford. They were arrested on January 2024 on the home invasion, robbery, and assault charges and other charges. The intruders told the friends to strip. They were half naked already. They tied their hands together. Isn't that kidnapping too? Shit. They tied their hands together and dragged them upstairs, demanding that the men hand over their money and drugs. So it was 2 men in the hot tub, I guess. CE testified. He testified that he had no drugs, and their attempt to steal money from his bank account using his cell phone failed. The robbers pistol whipped and then sexually assaulted the friends when they appeared to be uncooperated. What? They sexually assaulted them. The intruders left the men tied up in a bedroom and went downstairs, and CE was able to get out of his bindings and free his friend. Naked and without cell phones, the 2 men jumped from the 2nd floor balcony and ran through the woods behind the house to get help, he testified. The woman, who lives around the block on Waterville Road, called 911 to get help. The men were bleeding from scrapes and bruises. They declined to be taken to the hospital, according to testimony from CE and his friend NB. They told police that they had been set up. CE testified last week that he realized the woman was involved when he caught a glimpse of her going through his stuff. This all started when Branford, who had met NB at a Waterbury club, probably a strip club up there, I've been to quite a few of them in the past, contacted him on Instagram and expressed interest on getting together, according to police and testimony. Police said that they had been wearing expensive chain, and when he did a video chat with Branford and CE, testified that the robbers kept asking for the chain the night of the home invasion. NB wasn't wearing it that night, so they never got it, police said. Wow. So they went through all that trouble for nothing. All that trouble, and now these guys are going to do a lot of time in prison, and this chick is testifying against them. Her ass should be getting more time than them 2 guys. Like, and then they sexually assault them? What? Insane. Makes no sense. You got to keep that puppy to drive you nuts for a year or so, and then it'll be a team. You'll never wonder how you lived without her. Yeah, I'm torn, man. It is. It's. You're now on Apple Podcasts. That's cool. Hell yeah. I'm on Spotify. I just got to get to it and start uploading more interviews over there. It's crazy. NBC, I'm watching Trust. I have 3 dogs, and they all drive me crazy at first, and now they're the best. Not the ringleader. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy how someone can do something and they be the ringleader of the whole shit, and they testify against other people that they brought into the situation. How is that even possible? It's like some Sammy the bullshit, right? Sammy the bullshit. Like, he's the number one reason of all the crimes that John Gotti was committing, but he testifies against John Gotti. It's crazy. He's the one that did all the murders, but he don't go to prison. It's like the same scenario. It's insane. I don't get it. I don't get it these days. It's just crazy. But now we're going to talk about the Hells Angels jeweler. So the Hells Angels, like BC jeweler, loses appeal against $66K money laundering penalties. And listen, someone said, oh, you butcher a lot of those words. You're damn right I do. Shit. I only got a 6th grade education, man. A BC jeweler, self-proclaimed member of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. How is he self-proclaimed? He lost his appeal to overturn the $66,000 in penalties for violation of Canada's anti-money laundering laws. In 2023, the Financial Transactions and Report Analysts Center of Canada, or Fintrac, had handed Austin Jewelers $33,000 in penalties for violation of the Federal Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering, and Terrorist Financing Act. Under Canada's anti-money laundering laws, casinos, financial entities, money services, businesses, real estate brokers, sales representatives, as well as several other business sectors are required to keep certain records, identify clients, maintain compliance resume, and report specific financial transactions with Fintrac. Administrative monetary penalties handed out under the Anti-Money Laundering Act are meant to be non-punitive and are issued to encourage change in the non-compliant behavior of business, according to Fintrac. In her initial ruling, obviously the judge was a woman. Fintrac director found that some of jewelry shop's clients were members of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club and other third parties, both representing higher risk transaction involving precious metals and gems. Now, what does that matter? So what? Members of the club have been linked to organized crime and convicted of other offenses in Canada, the director noted. Austin Jewelers owner Frank Supans claimed the Hells Angels was a motorcycle club, not a criminal organization, and he is correct in that confirmation. He confirmed that he was a member of the group, making and repairing jewelry for other Hells Angels members for 18 years as a community-based jeweler repair shop. And they are a motorcycle club. I don't know why they push this narrative that they're anything but that. Just because some members get caught up with some bullshit doesn't mean anything. Cops get arrested every day. They don't call the police force a gang, do they? But they should, right? Because they're the people that are supposed to protect you. And they're the ones out there doing the most damage. Supans deferred comment to his lawyer, Jordan Allington. In an interview, Allington said the case shows Fintrac will push small mom-and-pop businesses with the same force as a large jewelry retailer and real estate agencies. It serves more as a warning to everyone. This is an off-street strip mall. How do you say that? Coquitlam? It must be a town up there in Canada. Biker News Canada. You know how to say that damn word? Cullendim? Some shit like that. What's your favorite bar? Minneapolis these days. Man, Minneapolis is a shithole city, and I am so glad I don't live there anymore. Fuck Minneapolis. Turning into little Somalia is what it is. That place is fucking in a downward spiral fast. And hopefully New York isn't next. Because I'll never go back to New York City if that dude gets elected. Ever. He's obviously has a hatred towards white people. And that's pretty nuts. He said it serves as a warning. He's assisting in local community with small jewelry needs. He committed no crime. Unfortunately, he had some difficulties with his record keeping. And that attracted the attention of Fintrac. And he's hit with an extremely punitive penalty. The shop failed to keep transaction records carrying out risk assessment. In an initial violation of the anti-money laundering law, Fintrac director had found the jeweler had failed to document transaction invoices and had no policies on record keeping, client identification, or reporting transactions of precious metals and stones. Supans had previously told the director of Fintrac that he had a 100-page procedure manual but could not find it. In 2019, the owner had provided a 3-page document to Fintrac that failed to show the business was complying with the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Damn, that's crazy they do this up there. The director also found that jeweler failed to assist and document the risk of money laundering and terrorist activity finances as it went about its business. The jeweler's clients and business relationship, as well as its products, services, and delivery channels, may have posed a high risk, the Fintrac director found. On June 27, 2023, the director issued Austin Jewelers 2 penalties totaling $66,000. A reduced sanction could have totaled $200,000, were if not for business first violation. Jeweler argues penalties should total $500,000 or should total $500. He thinks it should only be $500. In a submission, Supans described one of the penalties as harsh or extreme because he knew about Fintrac's guidelines and would refer to its website if he had any concerns. The jeweler shop owner also submitted that he suffered serious injury in 2020 that was largely unable to work. The shop permanently closed its business in 2021 due to local demographic changes and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, he said. Supan submitted he should be penalized $500 for the violations. Since the initial 2019 Fintrac examination, Supan said he had been made aware that legal requirements required him to be vigilant in documenting all money that came into the business. Supan said he also recognized he should look out for the kinds of customers that might want to use large sums of cash or request odd things. Who cares about that? Like, aren't you allowed to do business with whoever you want? And so what? He did business with the Hells Angels. They got money too. I mean, their money's green, right? But the director ruled that such a small penalty was not at all aligned with the fact of the case. And while the storefront appeared to have closed, the business was found to have continued online through an active website and a Facebook page. You will not break me. On October 2024, his Facebook post status said, the money laundering that goes on in our casinos is crazy. I don't have some paperwork. And you find me to the point of destroying Austin Jewelers is crazy, he wrote. Appeal filed showed Fintrac errored. Supans appealed the decision to the federal court. At a May 22nd hearing, he claimed at a Vancouver courthouse that the violations were wrongly classified at the highest level of harm. Among other claims, he also argued that Fintrac failed to explain why a lower penalty would not achieve the same objective under the Act. In a decision released Friday, they found that Supans had failed to show Fintrac director had committed any palpable and overriding error. In her decision, he noted that Fintrac found one transaction worth $10,000 and that the business had carried out transactions with members of the Hells Angels. Arlington said his client had purchased a single large diamond and that raised flags with Fintrac. His client's connection with the Hells Angels should have no impact on Fintrac's decision, lawyers said. So what if he services customers who may be members of the Hells Angels? So what? Why should that ever be a factor into anything? Arlington said. Any member of the community can access any service they wish as long as they're doing so lawfully. In his decision, the judge wrote Suphan's submission that he had bookmarked Canada's anti-money laundering laws on his computer browser did not constitute compliance. Little also said Austin Jewelers had made no improvement in his compliance and risk assessment policies and procedures. Ultimately, Little found Fintrac's decision to penalize the jeweler were sound, so he is getting hit with the penalty. The director's reasons were clear that the violations were serious, wrote Little, adding that the imposing no penalty or attempting other alternatives was not realistic. The judge dismissed the appeal and ordered Austin Jewelers to pay $2,000 in legal fees. Holy shit. So that's crazy. What are your thoughts on this situation? They are hitting this guy with all these fines because he did business with the Hells Angels. And, well, that's kind of like they're using that as an excuse to bring up that he did business with the Hells Angels, and it's a risk factor. But they're saying that he didn't keep legitimate records to do business like that. But why are the Hells Angels even named in this? It makes no sense. Cops are still running at HA while Asian guys own casinos in BC and Alberta. 100%. Oh, is that Pee Wee not here? For some reason, I thought he was. No, he's not here. Pee Wee doesn't live anywhere near Minnesota these days. Yeah, he's not near Minnesota. I know 2 guys owned Rolex watches before they got raided and never saw them again. Oh, I'm sure one of the guys used it to get on bail. The other guy never saw it again. It was never on evidence list. That's what they do. Hey, TS or T Smart, what's up? How are you? They probably wouldn't have bothered the jeweler, but with the 81 being customers, they targeted him. Shouldn't have happened. 100%. I think it's bullshit they do that. Like, it's insane that they're able to do that. It makes absolutely no sense that they can do that. I mean, I understand not keeping legitimate records. I mean, you have a business where you're making a lot of money. You're dealing with pretty big amount of cash. You're selling jewelry and precious metals, so you probably want to keep records on all that, everything you have coming in and everything that's going out. Andy put that he wasn't in business anymore and he's still operating on the internet and on Facebook. You think they're not watching, but they are. The feds are probably watching this stream right now. And if you are, fuck you. But anyway, shout out to everyone that watches this show. I really appreciate you. We got a lot of content on the way. I'm excited. Filming's going to start probably by the end of the week. I'm absolutely ecstatic at what I have going on, and I'm going to show you guys motorcycle club racism by the feds. It 100% is a thing. And I think the media is coaxed into it by law enforcement. Just like Chitwood. Don't worry, Chitwood's got some explaining to do coming up later on this week. We're going to talk about it. So all these guys are out on bond. I thought they were going to hold them forever, and they destroyed their clubhouse and a bunch of bullshit. Chitwood is a piece of shit. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother's sister's friend about Chatting with Stacks, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch. Oh, yeah, start your own fucking podcast if you don't like it.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.